Just gonna lie flat for a moment, have your belt near you. Go into a Shavasana position. Take a nice deep breath in. And with the exhale, just melt yourself into the floor. Do that a few more times. Relaxing arms and hands. Legs and feet. Relax all your back muscles down into the sacrum. Good. And now just step the soles of your feet together so the knees drop out. And very carefully make some snow angels with your arms. Bend your elbows or just skip the position altogether if it's not feeling good. Keep your neck nice and relaxed. And continue that same breathing. One more. Good. Bring your knees together at the center and pull both knees up into your chest. Rock side to side across that sacrum. Good. Pause at center. Hold on to the right knee and stretch your left leg down onto the floor. Good. Circle the right ankle a few times here. Good. Now pause. Relax the ankle. 3 times. Inhale. With the exhale, lift your head, lift your shoulders, curl your chest to the navel, and come back down. Twice more. Good. And now let's go right to the belt. Put it around the right foot. Extend that leg to the ceiling. And just stretch your leg out. Press the heel up. Pull your toes down toward the shin. And maybe gently slide that leg forward and backward using your arm strength. So don't use your hip flexor to do this. Use the belt. Good. And now keep your leg in a position where you can have it fairly straight without knee issues here. Good. And draw the leg to the left just a little bit. My sacrum is planted flat on the ground. But the idea is that I'm not bending my knee right now. Keep the knee pretty straight. Leg goes off center left. And now pull the leg closer in towards you. So you should really feel that anywhere in the outer calf, outer hamstrings, or the IT band. To make this stronger, if your leg is already straight and your foot is flexed, rotate your right outer hip crease forward toward your left heel. So it's almost like you're wagging your tail to the left. Take 2 more breaths. Good. Bring it back and let's go right to half lotus. Bend that knee. With your left hand, grab the right foot or the belt and fold that right knee down toward the floor. Not arching the back, maybe bracing your corsets here. One more breath. And release your leg down. Bend your left knee in. Pull the knee in as you circle your ankle. Good. Pause 3 times with a relaxed ankle now. Lift your head, curl your shoulders, and everything you can off the ground, and come back down. Exhale, bring it up again. Even use your glutes a little, so there's no arch in your low back as you come up. One more. Good. After that, grab your belt and extend your leg up. Again, just feel out the position right now that you can bring it into a straighter version here and move it in and out. All while you take deep breaths and scan the body for a moment. Try to stay relaxed, even though you're using muscles right now. There's no tension in your shoulders or neck, belly, face. Now find that straight position, however far out that might be. Flex your foot, pull your toes down, and draw the leg a little to the right. Flexing the foot really activates that calf part of the stretch. And now pull the leg closer to your right shoulder. And lastly, rotate your left hip down toward the right heel. Couple breaths. Bring it back and come to half lotus. Cross your ankle, press that left knee down. You can even here use your glutes a little. Great. Release and step your feet on the mat, hip width apart. Grab a block. I don't have one available right now, but you're going to put a block between your inner thighs, arm down by the sides. Good. And we'll do a few reps where you squeeze the block, you roll the tailbone off the ground and lift up into a bridge. Squeeze your glutes at the top and then roll onto the upper back, mid back, low back, and lastly the sacrum. So it takes a lot of inner deep core strength to do that rotation. Come up and down. I would go exhale on the up. Couple more. Good. All right. Release. Cross your left leg over the right. Arms slide out to the sides and just collapse your knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. Come back up. Uncross. Bring your right leg on top. Inhale. Head turns right as your knees collapse left. Come back up. Unwind. And let's roll to one side and sit up. Sit on your pillow or on the floor. Good. And let's cross right shin in front of left. Place your hands onto your knees. Good. And this is just about the neck. What we just did with the spine, the rounding, we'll do that with the neck. So as you inhale, kind of pull your chest forward, lift your chin. Exhale, slouch back a little with your shoulders and tuck your chin in. Inhale, chest forward, chin up, teeth together. Exhale, tuck, shoulders down, forward. Just in the upper back end of the neck here. One more time. Good. Come to neutral. And now let's twist. Turn the head way to the right. Wait for an inhale to come center. And with the exhale, turn way to the left. Inhale to the center, this time the whole body. Turn to the right. Stay. One more breath. Let go on an inhale, turn to center, and then turn to the left with the whole body now. Good. Inhale, turn to center, and exhale, relax your shoulders down. Float the arms out and up, like you're drawing a big circle around yourself. Inhale, lift up your right arm so you feel that right armpit area stretch. And then lift up your left arm, just go side to side a few times as your sitting bones are anchored into the floor. Try to make your low back long and broad. Pause at center, inhale, and fold forward, exhale. One more breath. Good. Let's come up. Release your hands down. Going into wild thing. Slide that right foot behind you and lift. Good. Release down. Wild thing on the other side. Good. Release down. And let's cross left shin in front of right. Good. Roll the shoulders a couple times here. Now, reach your hands behind you into a clasp. Press your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades. Look up. Good, come back to neutral. Interlace your hands in front of you, turn your wrists inside out. Tuck your chin in, push the back of your heart back and reach your arms forward. Nice stretch for the upper back. Good. Release arms to the ceiling if you can. Inhale and fold in one more time. This time when you're folded forward, walk your hands over to the right. And then to the left. Good, come back to center and let's sit up. We will go into a tabletop position. So let's turn around, spread your palms, bring your shins parallel. Good, and let's arch and round a few times. Two more. Good. Neutral spine. Now, your shins stay parallel, hip width apart. Imagine a cross that's drawn right under your navel on the mat, and that's where it really anchors you down into the floor. So scoop up the low belly, think of that cross, and then stretch your right leg back and your left arm forward. 5 times pull knee forward, elbow back to the waist. 1, 2, draw the core in when you pull in. 3, 4, and 5. Good, release. Now take that same right foot and step it with the right hand once. Frame that foot out with some blocks. And let's pick up the back knee into a runner's lunge. So we're hovering pretty low in the hips. Square the right hip back, left hip forward. And now reach your right arm to the ceiling. Good, release your right hand down, spin your back heel flat, anchor the left outer foot down and come to warrior one. Good, scoop that belly up. Grip the floor with your feet. I'll adjust the camera just a tad. Good, we're still in warrior one more breath. And now release your hands to the sides and step forward. Good. Mountain pose, legs together, shoulders back, tailbone heavy, belly scooped up. Now for the side bend, arms stretch out and up. Interlace your hands into a steeple hand grip so the index fingers are extended. You can alternatively have your hands at the hips here. Arms up, inhale, lift the waist. Exhale, bend to your right. Soft neck, maybe look up slightly. Inhale, center, and go to the left. Inhale, come to center, and stretch back. Take your hands to the low back if you want. I'm going to separate my feet a little. Shoulder heads back. Good, release and come to a forward bend. I'm already going to go up to all fours here if you guys are just in your first forward bend. Maybe grab opposite elbow in your Uttanasana forward bend and sway side to side. One more breath. Shift the weight slightly forward on the feet and lift your hamstrings up to the ceiling. Good. And now release your hands to the floor and step it back into a downward facing dog. If you want to do less, be with me here on all fours. Otherwise, you're in your down dog, treading it out for a moment. And then let's shift forward to plank. Lower knees, lower chest, and lie flat on the belly. Rearrange your hands softly by your sides, by this side of the chest, and inhale, lift up into a cobra. Strong cobra tail, that is your legs. Good, release down, and press back to child's pose for a moment. Come up to all fours. Other side. Remember that cross underneath your navel. Scoop it in. Left leg back. Right arm forward. Once you have your balance, pull in 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, release. Step the left foot forward. Tuck your back toes under, runner's lunge. And lift your left arm to the ceiling. Left hand down, spin your back heel in. Ground it down and come to warrior one. Push through the feet, arms up, or arms, whatever you want to do with your arms. If your arms are up, lift up through the biceps. One more breath. And step forward again. Shake it out. This is just my belt sticking out, so it's not my belly. Good. All right, so we're going to grab a block one more time. Put it between the thighs. And we're going to come into a chair. So I'll turn sideways, arms out, tailbone heavy, and sit down into that chair. Weight in the heels, lift your toes if you can. Draw the navel up toward the spine. Good. Now drop the toes, lift your heels a couple of inches, squeeze the block. Straight up as high as you can. Go, go, go high. And release. Good. It's also a good exercise for the ankles here. Circle them out for a moment. Great. And then let's turn sideways. Turn sideways. And I'm actually going to grab my block again, which you can too. We'll go into warrior two. So turn your right foot open. Turn the heel toward the back arch. Left heel turns back. You know the drill. Arms out. They can even be a little higher, the arms, in order to soften your shoulder blades down the back. And then lunge into warrior two. Turn your gaze at the right hand and breathe. As you're here, you might notice an arch in your back. So bring your hips underneath your body. Roll that right thigh out clockwise. And stack shoulders over hips. The head is just naturally floating on the neck. Good. Feel like you're drawing the inner thighs together a little bit, just to activate them. Now reach your right hand forward, lean to the right. Turn the palm up and lift your left hand to almost like you're holding a big beach ball or a yoga block. Hips are still underneath you, they're not flying back. One more breath. Inhale, bring it all the way to the back, right arm up, or right into the waist if you want. Stretch back, still low in the hips here. Back to warrior two, inhale, and straighten your front leg for triangle. When I use my block, you don't have to. Keep your hips underneath your body here. Also, notice how you're standing on your feet. Keep strong feet and ankles. So my feet are very actively gripping into the mat. And I'm not only on my heel, I'm on the ball of the foot as well. One more breath. Good. Raise your core, press up to standing. And if you had a block, put it to the other side. Full set of warrior two on the left leg. Do all the cues again, especially so we're working hard in the lower body, but the upper body is soft, expanded. We're breathing into that lower chest. Turn your neck all the way to the left hand. Now reach your left hand to the left more, lean left, turn the palm up, and reach your right hand to hold that imaginary beach ball. Keep your hips underneath you again. Bracing the core. Wait for an inhale to come all the way to reverse. Get that oxygen into the body. Breathe. Back to warrior two, inhale, and exhale to triangle. If you feel your hips flying back, again, draw them underneath you, like your left sitting bone wants to draw to the back heel. Two more. Long spine. Good. Soften and come up. Step your feet together and shake it out for a moment. Good. So we will take it into a balanced posture. And anywhere on your mat. And first just come into tree pose. So standing on the right foot, bring your left foot in to the calf or the upper thigh. Hands at the heart. Stacking your skeleton here. So think knee over ankle, hip over knee and ankle, shoulder or just the torso over the right hip. Crown lifted. Maybe turn your eyeballs up to the ceiling or the whole head. And stretch out your branches. Back to heart center. And when you're ready, release mountain pose. Other leg. So set all this up in your own timing here. Remember all the cues. Hands back to heart at some point and back to mountain pose. Close your eyes if you like, just go within. Good. Step your feet wider one more time. Going into a goddess pose, so turn your heels out at 45, shoulders over hips, and sit down into your goddess. Hands at the heart. Pull your pelvic floor and navel up and in a little, and now swing right arm under left. This is optional, so you don't have to stretch your shoulders right now. You can have your hands at the heart, but if you can, lift your elbows up and down 3-4 times. Good. Hands at the heart for a moment. 10 reps. Squatting down lower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Work with the glutes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stay down on the last one. 10. Switch. Left arm underneath you. Floss those shoulders a few times if available. Shoulders over hips. Pressing the knees out, using the outer glutes. Good. Hands at the heart if you want. 10 more reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you plugging those feet? 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stand up. Release your arms and take a breath. Good. All right. Turn your heels out a little so the outer edges of your feet are parallel. If you don't have a block here, grab one now and put it in front of you on the floor. Hands flat palms to the back of your pelvis. Lift your chest out, stretch back slightly. And then you come back to neutral spine and fold all the way forward. So you can go all the way down. I'm going to stay up right here. And you're in your forward bend. So what you're trying to do, first when we come down, our back is kind of rounded. Shift your weight forward on the feet and lift your sitting bones and hamstrings up to the ceiling and draw your low back as flat as you can using your core. Obviously do this slowly. We don't want to yank on the low back. The hamstrings have to be equally open. So just breathe in where you are right now. Good, and now set up the block. Put it kind of like right underneath your chest, any height that works for you. Push your hands on the block, look up, lengthen, and stretch your right arm to the ceiling. So you're still in that forward bend. The idea of the block is that your spine is not rounded. I want your chest lifted out. One more breath. Right hand on the block, and the inhale, left arm to the ceiling, turn your whole chest left. Take 3 breaths. Good. Release your hand down, soften your knees, push the floor away, and stand up on an inhale. Inch your feet closer together, circle the ankles. Good. We'll do one more balance pose, which is dancer pose. Go near a wall if you need to, otherwise mountain at the center of your mat. Grab your left ankle from the inside or the outside. Arms up. Or sorry, right arm up. Good. And stand in the center of your right foot, lean forward and kick your left foot back. Create that tension between the left hand and left foot. That's that bow and arrow, right? Focused breathing, focused eyes, strong, calm mind. One more. Good, release. Your hips will probably go more square than mine at this moment, so do what you can. Right hand grabs top of right foot, left arm up, and begin. And release. Good. Take a breath, sway your hips or whatever you like to do here. And we'll do one more standing pose, our pyramid pose. So turn to the small side of your mat, right foot steps forward, left foot steps back. Square your hips. Remember, your hips are not up here, that's your waist. Your hip joints are down here. So square the right hip back, but roll the left hip forward so that square becomes easy. Now take your hands behind you. You have choices. You can do namaste behind your back. You can do 2 fists together or just grab opposite wrist. So do what you can. Inhale, look up. Anchor into the back heel. Exhale, fold forward. Go all the way down, much more than I am. Here too, really grip the big toe mounds into the earth. Look down your right knee straight. Just have it straight, but not hyper straight. On an inhale, come back up. Release your arms. Step forward. And step your right foot back. Square, right hip forward, left hip will automatically roll back. Good, go to that grip again. Behind your back. Inhale. And fold. You're ready. Inhale, come up. Step forward, release your hands, rotate your wrists if you like. Good. All right, we'll take it to the floor. Stretch your arms forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to fold forward. I'm just coming to my hands and knees. Doing a forward bend. Good. From forward bend, you can do inhale, look up, lengthen, hands to the shins. Exhale, bend your knees a little, step it back to downward facing dog. So, and someone just joined, so don't be distracted that I'm not in down dog. You can go to downward dog. Good. From your down dog, shift forward to plank. Lower knees. Bend your elbows, lower chest, lie flat on the tummy. Good. And once you're laying on your belly, just relax your head to one side, take your arms to one side, and just relax. So I'm verbally guiding you for the next pose. You're laying on your belly and just take another deep breath, maybe into the low back here. Good. Now turn your chin or your forehead on the mat. Still lying on the belly, bend your lower legs and grab your ankles behind you. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's your stretch today. If you can do more, we'll do a back bend. So on your inhalation, lift your head, your chest, and begin to press your feet and shins back. So that bow and arrow, so really the bow part is happening. And again, that tension. Lift the chest. The thighs can remain on the floor or lift slightly. One more breath. Try to be maybe on your hip bones here. And then carefully release, lie flat on the floor for another deep breath. And carefully push yourself up, and we'll come right into hero pose. So put a block between your ankles. I'm going to roll my calves out here. Good. You know yourself, if you don't need a block, you can just lie or sit between your ankles on the floor. Just going to adjust my camera one more time as you're in camera. Or hero rather. And remember the most important thing, I just did the adjustment. Don't just arch your low back. Lift your hips and kind of scoop the bar under, squeeze your hips underneath you to flatten out your low back so you really get this in the thighs. I'm not interested in doing a big back bend here at all. One more breath. Good, wherever you are, carefully move out of that position. Good, back to all fours, or you can always do a child's pose and just round your spine very slowly. Stay in that position for a moment. Use your abs to round. Good, neutral spine. And we're going to go into pigeon. If you want to do double pigeon today, that's perfectly fine. I'll teach pigeon. So you guys can probably go to down dog or stay with me on all fours. But when you get there, lift your right leg up and then slide that knee forward into your pigeon pose. As I'm using my block here, you want to try to get that shin. So I'd love for you to use a block once and just see the difference. I just did this adjustment where my hips are in the block for my right hip, and I'm pulling my right heel forward. So my shin is parallel, almost parallel with the front of the mat. And that gives me a nice stretch in the right hip, which is again resting. So it's very nice to open that angle a little. And you can also lower to the forearms. Scan your body for any unnecessary tension here. 2 more breaths. Good. When you're ready, come up. So I'm going to take my right heel in again. So it's easier to bend my back leg and grab the ankle. Right hip still resting on the block. Now notice your left hip wants to rotate down toward the floor for a bigger stretch. Release. Maybe back to down dog. Those of you who have a vinyasa, by any means, go to down dog, then shift to plank and do your thing with the cobra or up dog. Since vinyasa is not a holding pattern, so we just flow, that's what that means. Vinyasa is flow. Come right back to down dog. And then sweep your left leg up. Inhale. And bring it forward to pigeon. Squaring up if you can. And maybe lowering down. Deep breaths, reaching the bottoms of your lungs. Good. Press your hands up. Slide your left foot in if you want and grab that right ankle. And rotate, just gently rotate your right hip crease toward the floor. 2 more breaths. Good. Let's release and come through to a seated position. Good. Take the soles of the feet together. And just get used for a moment to sitting on your sitting bones, maybe pull the flesh out. Try to not sit back on your tailbone, right? So make the hips higher if you need. Bounce your knees up and down, getting any tension out of the legs. Good. And then let the knees drop. They might be much, much higher. That's totally fine. You can even put blocks underneath your knees to let the groin kind of rest. And then lean forward. One more breath. Good. Come up, extend your right leg forward. Left foot draws up to the inner thigh. I still have my block here under my left knee. You can do the same or just drop it, but it's a nice option should your knee hurt. Flex your right foot. Using the belt if you want. Inhale, reach forward or even up. Exhale, loop that belt around the right foot, fold in. Turn your chest to the right toes. Good. On an inhale, come up again. We'll do a slightly different twist today. So bring your left knee up, and with my right hand, I'm grabbing my left outer foot. Now, you can use your belt or just grab your ankle, of course. Extend, actually, I need your belt. Extend that leg out, but whatever you do, your right hand holds the belt. You can lean your chest back a little, and now stretch your left arm out so your upper torso goes into a twist. Good. Unwind and shake out your legs for a moment. All right. Step right foot to left inner thigh. Support if you need. Inhale, reach. I use my belt. Let's be consistent. Inhale, reach forward or up. And exhale, reach down to the foot and folding. Remember, every time you work on the legs, if you flex your foot, you get so much more stretch down to the Achilles tendon. Good. Slowly come up. Either switch the belt to the right foot now, or just with left hand, grab outer right edge of the foot. Lean back slightly. We're not slouching though. Sit tall. Kick your right foot up in the air and stretch your right arm back. Turn your head to the right thumb if you like. Good. Release. Shake out your legs one more time. Good. And we'll do one brief thing. We'll move from a little side plank and then onto the floor. So lay on your left side. If you're on your right side, doesn't matter. It's just what I want you to do. See how my elbow is lined up? That's wrong. I want to bring my elbow underneath my shoulder joint. You can either make a fist or put your palm flat. Good. Now, I'm doing the modified version where my knees are bent. My heels, my butt, and my shoulders are in one line. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my left ribs, my left hips, and push my hips forward a little. Good. So I'm really getting all my strength here on the left waist. Right arm lifts up. You can absolutely step your feet out and have straight legs here. Think of length in the spine and the neck. And then settle back down. And just switch to the other side. Heels, sacrum or tailbone, and shoulders are in one line. Shoulder, right shoulder, or elbow rather is under the shoulder, and exhale, lift up. Lower down slowly and settle yourself flat onto the floor. Just lie onto your back and take a couple cleansing breaths in a Shavasana position. So don't mind me, I'm just modifying a little bit. Take one more breath, just melting into a puddle. Yoga really teaches us to use all the effort we have and then in an instant just letting go of everything, any remaining tension. Good, here we go. We did the curl-ups in the beginning. Now we're doing a full, bridge here. Step your feet flat on the mat. Take the tailbone and tilt it up toward the sky just a little. Although the tailbone is behind you, you can still tilt it up and lift the hips up into a full bridge. You're lying flat on your head and shoulders. Feel free to lift the right leg up. And then lift the left leg up, right leg down, of course. And when you're ready, both feet on the ground, lower your hips. Step your feet wider. You can stretch your arms out and just windshield wiper your knees side to side a few times. See how I'm collapsing my knee inward? And I'm even going as slow so I can go inhale, knees drop one way, and exhale, knees drop the opposite way. Eventually come back to center. Good. Step your feet toward each other. And let's do one-legged happy baby pose. I'm going to probably use my belt here. So grab your left foot, set it up almost like in an upside down lunge, and straighten your right leg out. Good. Switch. Good. And release your legs to the ground. Take a deep breath. I think we have time for a little shoulder stand here. So what you can do is, like I am, I'm not even going to attempt that right now, but you're going to lie flat and put a block underneath your hips, your sacrum, and extend your legs to the ceiling. Alternatively, you know, full shoulder stand, I wouldn't do that, Carol, by the way. Bring your arms down by your sides, roll the shoulder heads back, and then swing your feet with control up to the ceiling, supporting your low back with your hands. Make sure your chin is not tucked, your throat is nice and open, and your shoulders must be back so you don't rest on the base of your neck here. No neck bone touches. But I love the one where you just have the block under the hips, legs are up. Unless you have glaucoma, you're good to go with that pose. So imagine my legs were up in the air right now. Can probably do one. If you have any variation, so if you're on the block, you could spread your legs wide apart, circle the ankles a few times. And of course, if you're in shoulder stand, you can do one-legged plow. You all are familiar with that pose. Maybe stay up for 2-3 more breaths here. Good. And when you're ready, just release back to the earth. Stretch your legs out and take a nice deep breath again. Settling into your body. And then one more. Now, fish pose. Use the block, put it underneath your shoulder blades, or set up your hands next or under the hips, push it to your elbows, and let's hang the head back. Remember, there's also one where you can rest on your elbows and your head is on the block, in case you don't want to crank your neck too far back. We all have different necks. For some people, that's just not a happy pose. Or you can be lazy like me and be on the bolster, which I know some of you have that, which is a nice chest opener as well. So the idea of this pose is the chest to open, right? Finish your cycle of breath. And then very slowly come down. Come down. Maybe have your knees in one more time, rock side to side, or anything that makes you feel like you've concluded your asana practice. I'll turn sideways in Shavasana. You can stay in your regular Shavasana position. And we're just going to breathe. So here the idea is to not move anymore, but just breathe. With each exhale, we relax the body more. So maybe starting with your legs, take a slow, deep breath in. With the exhale, let the legs relax and go limp. Toes, feet, heels, everything relaxes. Maybe even notice energy in the bottoms of your feet without moving them. Make your next breath deeper again. Inhale. And exhale, relax your low back, your hips, your glutes, your belly. Normal breathing again. Imagine even the tiny, tiny muscles in your low back and your glutes are releasing now. Any tension or stress that you might be holding in your belly, let it go. Make your next inhale deeper again. As you exhale, relax your neck, your shoulders, your chest. Soften the muscles around your shoulder blades even more now. Feel a sense of openness in your chest. Maybe even you imagine a little smile in the center of your chest, deep inside. Make your next inhale deeper again. And with the exhale, relax your face, your jaw, your arms, your hands. Now deepen your next inhale again. This time to wake up, wiggle your fingers, your toes, and exhale. Possibly stretch your arms overhead in that lying down position. Point your toes, make yourself really long. And exhale, bend your knees up into your chest and roll over to the right side. Good. Let's press up to a seated position. Take your hands at the chest as a sign of gratitude for whatever you might be grateful right now. Namaste.